is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over the hearts of the children of Israel. But whenever a person turns to the Lord, the veil is removed. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. All of us, gazing with unveiled faces on the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, as from the Lord who is the Spirit. Therefore, since we have this ministry through the mercy shown us, we are not discouraged, and even through our gospel is veiled. It is veiled for those who are perishing, in whose case the God of this age has blinded the minds of the unbelievers, so that they may not see the light of the gospel, of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For we do not preach ourselves, but Jesus Christ as Lord, and ourselves as your slaves for the sake of Jesus. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to bring to light the knowledge of the glory of God on the face of Jesus Christ. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment, and whoever says to his brother, 'Raca,' will be answerable to the Sanhedrin, and whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to fiery Gehenna. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there recall that your brother has anything against you, leave your gift there at the altar. Go first and be reconciled with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Settle with your opponent quickly, while on the way to court with him. Otherwise, your opponent will hand you over to the judge, and the judge will hand you over to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Amen, I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny." The Gospel of the Lord.
Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, three kinds of laws were prevailed in Jewish society during Jesus' time. First and foremost, they had civil law. According to civil law, they were going along with the concept of theocracy, which says that God is their king, and whoever comes to power as a king must receive God's anointment, and he must receive God's approval. Secondly, they had religious law, the law that they followed while worshipping their God in the temple as well as outside the temple. At last but not least, they had moral law, which was mainly 10 Commandments and the Decalogue, which was given to them by the good Lord to civilize them and to make them a civilized nation. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, the Jews, they believe that when the Messiah arrives, he would fulfill all these three types of laws that were prevailed in Jewish society. Dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, we firmly believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And being the Messiah, he fulfilled all these three types of laws. First and foremost, when Jesus arrived to the land of Israel, during that time, Israel and the Jews, they were under the dominion of Roman Empire. And the Jews, they didn't have a king for a long period of time. But Jesus, having come into this world, he openly said, I am a kingdom, I have a kingdom, and I am a king, and I have a kingdom and I am going to establish my kingdom here on earth. Therefore, he fulfilled civil law. And secondly, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, by dying on the cross, by offering himself as a ransom for the mankind and for their sins, Jesus fulfilled the religious law. He said, do this in remembrance of me. Whenever we celebrate the sacrament of Eucharist, we remember his suffering, death, and resurrection. Therefore, he fulfilled the religious law as well. Finally, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, he fulfilled the moral law. In today's gospel, we see how he fulfilled moral law. He fulfilled moral law, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, by explaining to us the root cause of every evil action. Jesus says, you have heard it was said, do not commit murder. Whoever commits murder will have to face the trial. But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother or sister have to face the trial. Jesus says the root cause of the murder is anger. If you are angry with your brother or sister, you are in the process of committing murder. And even though it is not mentioned in today's gospel, Jesus explains to us even the root cause of theft. If you continuously desire your brother's property, you are in the process of stealing that from your brother. In other words, Jesus says the root cause of theft is desiring something that is not yours. And in the same way, Jesus says the root cause of adultery is to look at someone lustfully. You have heard it was said, do not commit adultery. But I say to you, whoever looks at a woman or a man lustfully, he has already committed adultery. Therefore, in this way, Jesus, being the Messiah, showed us the root cause of every evil action. In that way, he fulfilled the moral law. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, by fulfilling moral law, Jesus wants us to avoid every root cause of every evil action. Because if we do not avoid the root cause, we have already taken one step or two steps or many steps towards committing those evil actions. Therefore, let us avoid those root cause of evil action so that we may not commit an evil action in our lives. Amen.